You're watching the HoneyDew with Ryan Sickler at your mom's house.
Welcome back to the HoneyDew, y'all. We're over here at Studio Jeans doing it at your mom's house. I'm Ryan Sickler, and this is a very special end-of-year HoneyDew highlight review we're going to do. You want to talk about highlighting the lowlights? We're going to highlight the lowlights. Website, ryansickler.com, the honeydewpodcast.com, all that good stuff. You know that. Look, I just want to say thank you to everyone. All of you, thank you so much for listening, for watching. I've watched the subscribers on the YMH YouTube channel grow a couple 100,000 in not even a year. It's beyond impressive, and very appreciative to all of you, as well as Tom and Christina, everyone here at YMH. It's been a great, great year. The truth is, I really didn't know what I was going to do after the crab feast, and came up with this idea. And you guys have embraced it, and the people who've come on have embraced it. I really appreciate everyone who's come on here and shared their lowlights and found that light in the darkness. And just one of you, I try to read everything you guys post or send, except for the comments. That's fucking Blue Band's job over there. I'm not diving down in those negative ass comments because I sleep well. And one of you guys commented, I think it was an iTunes review, and it said, "It's tragedy on a whoopee cushion." And I was like, God damn, I don't know if that's yours or not. I've never heard that anywhere else, but I thought, man, that's exactly what this shit is. And this episode is going to be a highlighting, as I said, the lowlights, highlight the lowlights episode. We're going to run through some of our favorite moments. I reached out to you guys, asked what you like. We got a lot of that in here. I should have made it clear that it's video only from the video episodes. But I want to say I think it's 12 episodes of the HoneyDew before we finally got settled in here at YMH. They're great episodes too. The Jessa Reed episode, I don't want to miss anybody, but the ladies brought it, man. Eleanor Kerrigan, Carlotta Wood, who came on, not even in the business, not a comedian, which is something I am going to do more of now that we've got the show rolling and stuff. I want to get out and talk to bring you guys in. So those episodes are great. Steve Simone's in there, Dan Van Kirk's in there. There's a lot of really good episodes. So now with all that said, why don't we go ahead and get into some of these highlights here from the year that is 2019. We're going to kick it off with the main mommy, my favorite mom, who tells us a little bit about her fucking mom and how crazy her mom was. Check this shit out.
But that's when shit got real weird with my mom. So this is the first time my mother is abandoned, essentially. She's had a horrible childhood, right? Her mother dies when she is 12. So she's been given up for adoption. She has an alcoholic dad, the guy. It's a fucking shit show. So mom gets real weird when dad leaves, and that's when the fucking shit starts. You know what I mean? I was like, what?
But is she dating also? Does she bring men in like he's bringing women in?
Negative. No, so my mom was really just spiraling over a divorce. And then we move into the apartment complex that Brody Stevens actually lived in. It's single mothers. We didn't know each other. He's a little bit older. He was older than me. And it was mostly single mothers and immigrants. And that's, I start to notice that I don't really like my mom. I'm about 5-6 years old. I don't like her. I don't feel good around her.
Isn't it funny how early you feel it? I was the same way. I'm like,
You did too. Yeah. You never felt that she was maternal. Like I never wanted to I wanted to touch her hair. She wouldn't let me because it was like a helmet of hairspray, you know. Don't fucking touch my hair. And her nails were always like blood red and long and spiky. And she would put lemon juice in her hair. It was already bleached blonde, and then lemon juice, and then she would tease it so it was extra, you know. Like,
would that make it lighter or something?
Lighter and then crispy. She liked her hair crispy. And she would tease it. And then she had a flaming red bush. My mother was a natural redhead. And she would, you know, I was seeing her naked. She was always naked, getting ready in front of the mirror, putting her makeup on.
But is that also like, I hear you on the ughs, but are we just as Americans just so fucking rigid and prude? Because I hear a lot of like South America, and they're like, people walk around naked all the time in the house. Like,
it is a European thing, definitely. But then, you know, but we're in America now, Jack. And like, you need to have a fucking awareness. I have a 3-year-old son now, and now I'm kind of like,
You don't fucking stand naked with your bush out in front of your kids, tease your hair. You don't do that? Where's that lemon? Give me that lemon. I'll put it on my bush hair and tease it up. Don't touch my bush.
Oh my God. Oh, it's the worst. And she had a douchebag. You know, you ever hear Lenny Bruce talking about his mother's
hot water
douchebag?
bottle?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my grandmom had one. It looked like this though, like a rubber bag with the cord on it. Yeah, it would hang in her hallway closet. It smelled like mothballs.
Yeah. What was with the heavy douchebags back in the 80s? Like women's pussies were just this vile.
Is your pussy dehydrated? I mean, this thing's a good fucking 2-liter right here, Grandma.
Right? Like, why did she have to blast her pussy every week?
That's a lot of water blasted.
Yeah, like what's going on in there? And she would always tell me like, men don't like women with stinky pussy.
That's how she would say it? Stinky pussy. You're 5 years old.
Yeah, like I need to hear it. Oh, yeah. It starts at 5.
I'm going to go watch One Thing, Two Things. Yeah. Go check out the rest of that episode. It's such a good episode. There's so much more there. It's episode 15 with Christina, and we're going to keep it over here in the house at your mom's house. Next up is Tom Segura, episode 17, with some of his, more romantic moments. We were talking about I love you stories.
Oh my God.
And you said you have some that are really humiliating. And I've been there before. Like I remember, I'll share this one real quick with you to make you feel a little better. But I remember there was this cute girl in the neighborhood and I liked her. And the girl next door was like, I'm going to help you. This is middle school. I'm going to help you get, go out with her. And I was like, okay. She's like, I'll bring her over and I'll tell her like, you're nice and all this. I go, okay. And so she brings her over and we're playing and stuff. And she goes, Ryan really thinks you're cute. And she just goes, ugh, like that.
Oh.
You
saw it?
Oh, it saw it. She did it right in front of me. She's like, let's go do something else. And I was like, oh man, that warm feeling that just washes over you. It's like, oh man, that does feel.
It's like impossible to shake.
It was probably something really nice that happened that day. I don't even fucking remember that. I remember that shit though.
Yeah. I think that might be, I mean, it's part of the human experience, but there might be nothing else quite like professing your feelings for someone and then being like, nah.
I don't even feel the same
Oh my
way.
God.
Like, you don't even know, like, how are you so off? Like, I love you. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even feel that at all. Like,
I
how
mean,
did I read this so wrong?
like is a stretch for me.
I just needed a ride, okay?
Man.
Were you an I love you guy?
I mean, no, I don't feel like I was like throwing it around all the
Probably
time.
threw it around a little too much.
Really?
But I meant it. If I had braces and
I would
acne,
think
if you
that
did
I-
anything with me, I
Yeah.
loved you.
I remember saying, I definitely said it too early. So embarrassing. I mean, I remembered saying it to a girl in high school.
That's
And-
the first time high school?
No, I probably said it to somebody like in middle school or something, but like not really, just thinking to say it. I don't know. Just more like infatuated. I remember saying it to a girl in high school who like things were building with, and I actually think I waited too long. You know what I mean? Like I dragged it out, and then I remember telling her, I was like, I love you. And she was like, yeah. I was like, what?
Like she's like, yeah, of course you do.
Yeah, like I could tell. And I was like, okay.
So all your thunder from that
And I
moment,
was like,
everything.
all right. And then, like shortly thereafter, she was going out with a friend of mine. That was devastating.
Oh yeah.
Devastating. The one that I remember, the two that are more like adult ones, was like one in college. I went out with this girl. So we were staying in the same like housing complex, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
right? Student complex, like student housing. I can't even think. And I met her on the yard there. Sounds like I'm talking about prison, but I met her, in the student union or something. And she was this cute girl, and Mary. Anyways, I go and I take her out to dinner one night, and we come back, and she was like, she tells me to come up to her place. Dude, I have to shit so badly that I go, I got to study for this test. And she's not like saying, let's watch a movie. She's like clearly hinting you know, like we can hook up. And I definitely want to, but I'm like, I could feel like a pool of water. Like I can feel it in my guts. Like it's not like, oh, I kind of have to take a shit. I'm holding on to an emergency right now. You know, like I can feel it. And so she's like, okay.
But why are you not comfortable just saying, let me run to my place real quick?
Well, hold on.
Grab a condom, whatever, anything.
Because I do have to, the part about the test and all that the next day is true, but
It was the studying part that wasn't true.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I should be studying for the test. I should also be hooking up with her. The shit that I feel, like, in my mind, I'm like, this is a category 5. Like, this is going to take massive cleanup. This is not, like, and who knows if I could have sex after this, because I don't know what's going to happen with my guts and my ass. It's just, if I know it's a disaster. So I go to my dorm room, and the way that my dorm room is that there's myself and my roommate, a bathroom that has 2 doors. Mm-hmm. One you can enter from my side, and then there's another 2 guys on the other side that also use that bathroom.
What do they call that bathroom? Someone just told me the other day.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's a name for it.
But you share it.
It's not,
right.
Yeah, but there's a name for it.
But we share it with
Somebody else tell us.
2 other guys.
Yep,
okay?
I know exactly. I had that situation.
I lived there for my whole sophomore year. I go back from like, all right, well then, like, I'll see you. I think we kiss, you know, like out on the student patio, whatever it's called. And then I'm like, yeah, no, because I got to go work on this study for this test. And I'm giving no hint of what's going on with me, right? I go up to my room, I sit down, I shit. And I'm not kidding you. For the whole year, this never happened, but that night, as I shit, the 2 guys go, what the fuck is that? and it's
you all right in there?
Dude, it's so loud, and it's just like a black pool of water, right? It's like, it's horrific. And I flush, and I got to flush again, and they're like, oh my God, because the smell is like going through
poison.
The walls.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the fuck? I have to flush like 3 times. Immediately, I got to get in the shower and like clean up. And then like when I was done, they came through and they were like, what's happened? What happened to you? I was like, I don't know. I went out. I think I took her to sushi. I was like, I had sushi. And they were like, do you need to ride somewhere or something? I was like, no, I'm good, man. But that's what it was. Anyways, I was like embarrassed that happened too. And I also had like the thought that
this goes back to all that shit trauma probably when you were fucking 9 years old.
Maybe it does.
It does.
Dude,
scared you're gonna shit yourself and start crying.
I end up going to bed, and the next day, that girl Mary, her friend was like thinking that I'm a sweet guy, and she's like, you're like a really nice guy. And I was like, what? Why? She was like, you
should talk to my roommates, man.
You're taking your time with her. That's what she thought. Like that I was like,
right.
That the reason I didn't go over there was like, I don't want to rush things.
Yeah.
Like,
Janet Jackson, let's wait a while.
Yeah. I like to hook up, but not the first night. So
I've been lucky enough to have a lot of people come on the show this year and really open up and share some things. A lot of people I know, and there's still a lot of stuff I don't know about them. And Andrew Santino is one of my favorite people. Shout out again to Andrew Santino, and special thanks for leaving that weed the week I came after you in Phoenix. I appreciate that, playa. And this episode, I find out that his dad was in prison. I had no idea his dad was in prison. It's episode 24. You can check out the full episode, but check out this clip right here, this low light right here.
But my dad was in and out of my life all the time, but that wasn't really the root of it. Like, I don't think that was it. I think it was just,
in and out of your life, why? What did he do?
Prison.
For real?
Prison.
See, I don't know when you're joking with me or not.
I swear to God.
What? Are you comfortable talking about
Totally,
that?
yeah. I don't give a fuck.
What did he do to go to prison?
Drugs.
Selling or?
Both. Selling, buying, being involved with pieces of shit.
Let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Your mom and dad split at 1.
Before
you're a 1.
Right,
do you have any
around,
siblings? Is there anyone that precedes
not from them.
you?
Not from them. No.
Okay.
I'm the only one from them.
Not from them.
But I have halves. I have half siblings.
Okay.
But I'm the only one from them, from my biological mom and dad.
So at what age do you remember meeting your dad?
Shit, maybe like, I remember like maybe 3 or 4. I remember going to his apartment when I was 3 or 4 and watching Bears games. Like that, I kind of remember, but not much. He was like a figment of my imagination as a kid. He drove. I used to talk about it on stage. He drove a Firebird. Remember Pontiac Firebirds?
Yeah,
He drove a Firebird. He had a million of them. He would trade them out in and out, different colors. But he loved cocaine. He loved cocaine.
Doing it and selling it?
Everything, all the above. And then just unruly people that he was surrounding himself with. I'm sure they were involved in criminal activity as well. You know what I mean? He had a lot of protection because my grandfather's
his dad?
His father's people were,
Dialed in?
They were people.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were people.
But he would go to prison.
He went to prison
in Cook County?
Yeah, Cook County Prison. This is how I knew my grandfather had people. First of all, my grandfather worked at the dog track, not the horse track, at the dog track. Yeah, bro. There goes
and
the rabbit.
Not greyhounds either. Like
no, dog,
fucking
just loose dogs. Yeah. It's loose neighborhood animals. But he would. But I knew. But I would go see him. I'd go watch amateur boxing sometimes at the Greyhound track. It was called Maywood. Maywood's the dog track. I don't think it's around anymore. Arlington is the horse track. But here's how I knew. His friends all had hilarious TV nicknames. Only when I was older. Like his best friend was this guy Joe the Hat. Joe the Hat always had nice cars. Brand new Corvette, brand new Porsche.
Yeah.
I was like, this motherfucker's a magician. What does he do? And then I got old enough to realize like these guys don't have jobs. They kick it all fucking day. So what did he do to make money?
And are they younger at the time? Well,
they were probably
50s,
they were probably in their
60s?
50s or 60s, right? They weren't like 30s or 40s. But it was always so mysterious. And then I knew all these guys with all these bullshit nicknames, like Joe the Hat, the Marksman. I was like, who are these?
The Marksman. I think I know who he is.
But you think it's you as a kid, you don't.
The Marksman.
Yeah, you just don't wrap your head around all that stuff. You don't understand what any of that shit is.
It's normal. It's
it
all
just sounds like normal
until
shit.
you realize
Right.
when that shit is not normal.
Right. And then you realize what the hat.
Mom, I'm going to the Marksman's house.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're not.
No. So that's how I knew my grandfather had friendlies, And so my dad and his brother were up to no gooders, and they were always in trouble. Always in trouble. Both great athletes, both like had good opportunities to do things and just couldn't stay out of fucking trouble. And then my dad's brother went to Vietnam and got addicted to the horse, like so many of those dudes did. And then had a tough time with his life until he got clean, found Jesus.
That's what took it.
He found Jesus hard. And
in
then
prison? Apparently, Jesus lives on death row.
Yeah,
a lot of them find him.
Yeah,
in
he
there.
does. Yeah, he does. He's in cell block 2.
Yep.
But and then he got his life so clean together. But my whole childhood with
Are you
my
close
dad,
with your uncle now?
No, he's in Florida. But he found God. He works with this woman. I mean, he works at this church, and his life is good. He's living a nice, good, clean life. But my old man, we had this weird up and down relationship of like just was in and out of prison, so didn't really know him.
Did you ever go visit him in prison?
Never. But he would call all the time. This is my favorite. Back in the day when they used to prison collect calls,
Yeah.
He'd be like, you have a collect call from Cook County prisoner inmate for 8527.
It would say his number.
Yeah, it would say the number, and then it would go, from dude, and it'd be a chance for them to leave their name, right? But my mother would never. She would be angry that I accepted it, so she didn't want me to accept the call. She's like, I'm not paying for that motherfucker to pay. Fuck
Right,
him.
you got to pay for you to talk to your own kid.
Yeah, fuck that. So she would deny it sometimes. So he knew that it would get denied. So he would leave his message in the time when he's supposed to leave his name. So it's supposed to just be like, you have
That's
a collect
what I
call
used to
from
do, yeah.
Rick,
Yeah.
So it'd be he would leave a collect call and be like, you have a collect call from Cook County inmate, da da da. And then I go, from, and they go, hey, what's up? It's me. I just want to say hi. And it would cut it off every time. So
Listen, cut that new shit with some baking soda. Listen, they're coming by at noon. There's been a lot of humiliating moments that have been shared on this episode, but I think the one that really takes the cake or takes the shit is the Kelsey Cook episode. Episode 26. Kelsey Cook, hilarious Kelsey Cook, comes on and tells a story about the shit she had to take in a Sephora box. Sephora dropped sponsorship immediately after the show, but you should definitely check out the full episode after you see this shitty clip.
So yeah, my fiance and I, we've always lived in an apartment that only has one bathroom. And so one of the fights that we've had over and over is because he takes 45-minute man shits. And I don't know if this is something that you do too, if this is like all guys.
That's my only.
That's your wheelhouse.
When I live with my daughter's mother, she's like, "What are you doing in there?" And I would just be like, "Nothing. I'm just peace and quiet in here right now." I put that fan. She's like, "I hate that fan." I'm like, "I love that fan.
I love that fan.
Because I can't hear you say shit like I hate that fan."
That fan's my friend.
My legs go numb and I get up and I'm like, oh shit, I don't know if I'll get feeling back in these. This one feels deep. Yeah.
Your butthole's completely dry out.
Yeah.
It's like a craisin back there. And I hadn't experienced this. Not a raisin, a craisin. Specific.
Very specific.
Very specific.
They're a little red, so you're right.
Underrated. Thank you. So, not enough. Yeah. So, I hadn't lived with a guy before, so I just didn't know if this was normal or whatever. And I asked him, I was like, why does it take you so long to do that? And he was like, well, my doctor told me that it's bad to push, so I don't push. I just sit and I let it fall out. And I was like, what are you, a geisha? Like, what are you trying to take these like little dainty, shits for? I just feel like, fucking hold on to something, fire it out, get the fuck out of there.
Hit
like,
it and quit it. I'm out.
We gotta go to Costco. There's shit to be done today. And so... Literally.
A lot
of it from my end.
From all different places and restrooms and everything.
Exactly. So this was only like maybe 4 months ago. We were in our apartment and he went into the bathroom for one of his sessions. And I knew it was going to be one because he locked the door, which like when I hear that, like he only does that for number 2, which is just funny to me. I don't like know why he thinks some like weary traveler's going to be like, go on in.
Try to get in while you're shitting. Yeah. Like, what are you doing in my home? Yeah. Just looking for the bathroom.
Yeah. So he locks the door, which basically also ensures like that I have no access to it. So he was maybe like 20 minutes into his usual 45 minutes when I started to feel some fireworks. And I was like, oh no. So I texted him and I was like, hey, I'm about to shit my pants.
I'm about to shit in the kitchen sink.
Dude, that's so funny you say that because that was like honestly going to be one of my...
Where else would you go?
I know.
You
okay. Okay. So
I'm with you on that, by the way.
Get ready.
I mean, I'd moved the next day.
Get ready. Yeah.
But I don't blame
you. Got to burn that place to the ground after that.
Down.
No amount of bleach will clean that. So I send it to him and he doesn't respond. Like I can hear his phone get my text and I hear him just like continue to watch Arrested Development. I'm like, fucking asshole. So now I'm faced with reality. Like I don't have access to a toilet and I've got some demons coming down the chute, like apocalypse survival mode. So then I start frantically looking around our tiny like 1-bedroom apartment for a substitute toilet. And the first thing I saw was the kitchen sink. But then I like right away, I was like too high. Like, it's just like, that's a lot of gymnastics that I'm not qualified for. So I was like, okay,
Especially when you're about to shit yourself.
Shit yourself.
This push right here. This little hop up right here. Like, God damn it.
For sure.
Let me just clean my underwear in the sink now.
Let me just turn this around. So I was like, okay, that's a no. Then I saw my fiance's Boston Red Sox hat. And I was like, like emotionally.
Touche.
Emotionally,
Yeah.
I would like to soft serve him some Piping Hot Justice. This feels appropriate.
I love you said soft serve. I'm going to tell you something after this.
But then finally I saw like in the corner of the living room, there was an empty cardboard Sephora box. Do you know the store Sephora? It's like a makeup store. Okay. So I was like, this is as good as it's going to get. And so I, in the middle of my living room at like 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, dropped my pants and fucking...
You shit in a Sephora?
Full bowel movement, full shit into a Sephora box. And also what you forget, like you don't think about when you're like going number 2 is that you usually like pee a little bit too. So I pooped, also like peed a little, like just like down my legs on the floor.
Are you crying?
I'm so upset.
I would be crying if I'm traumatized in a Sephora box.
As it's happening, my cats walk.
By the way, they're a sponsor of the show.
They're sponsored, great.
They're
me up
never
with
going
a
to be a
little lip
sponsor
gloss.
of
Yeah.
this motherfucker.
I know. I'm fucking ruining their store so badly.
I'm a big fan of Football Sunday. It's been a good year for my Ravens so far. Shout out to Lamar Jackson right there. But I've never heard of something called Sawed Off Sunday until George Perez came on the show. Episode 28 it is. Yeah, it's episode 28. George comes on and gives a whole new definition to Sunday that I had never heard. Got a Sawed Off Sunday going on out there. You got to check out this clip right here. Okay, well, you jump around, so I want to go back.
Yeah.
All right, so when you carried a sawed off, what was the reason for that versus, where are you going that night?
Okay,
versus
I'm glad
the
you
handgun?
asked that because I used to call it sawed off Sundays.
Taco Tuesdays and sawed off Sundays, y'all.
Yeah. 9mm Wednesdays, baby.
What the fuck? What was sawed off Sundays all about?
That was the day the street sweeper came, and that's what we used to call the guns. It's the street sweeper. So on sawed off Sundays, we would all take our sawed off shotguns, and back in those days, the party crews would throw these parties, and it was, dude, we're going to parties to get bitches and do drugs and fuck around. You know what I mean? I only had one kid back then.
How old were you when you were father first?
18.
18?
Yeah.
Man,
I
you're
didn't go
a
to health.
baby.
I didn't go to health class. It was fucking hard.
You missed it?
Yeah.
God damn, 18, you're a dad?
18. Yeah.
And now you're rolling around on sawed off Sundays.
Yeah.
And who are you going? You just going to intimidate? What are you doing?
So these people would throw parties and shit, and they would put our name, because before we were a gang, we were a party crew. We were getting into like being a gang. Back in that time, everybody had party crews, and it was like we were gangsters, but we didn't want to. I didn't want to follow someone else's rules and shit. Who I can and who I can't talk to. And it's just a lot of politics involved. And then bro, we go to parties, and I did one time on Sawed Off Sunday. We fucking had to use the sawed-offs, dog.
You did?
Yeah.
What happened?
Somebody died, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
We fucking... This is before
Can you
I
talk-
wasn't
can you
bad.
talk about
Oh,
this?
yeah, this shit's over with. I remember being in high school when this sawed-off Sunday happened, and fucking we went to a party, and these fools tried to set us up because they already found 2 guns. Like, they would search you when you go into a party, so we would put the clip on the bottom of our shoes. We put the 9mm clips or the 45, and then we would get the gun, wrap it in like fucking some kind of paper, and then put it in a plastic Ziploc bag and put it in a big gulp, and just
Damn.
walk. Yeah, fucking sawed off Sundays, man. We need to do a show now called Sawed Off Sundays.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You would put the gun in the big gulp and roll
Yeah.
in like this. So now you have a piece in the party.
Yeah,
if you
because
need it.
we're going.
You're not getting a sawed off in there.
No,
right?
yeah, we're not getting the sawed off, and we got little Derringers, little 22s and shit hidden, because everyone's packing, and you just got to be safe. And we thought this party was safe, and it was all bad, Like, we started fighting with these fools first, and then we were fucking them up, and then out of nowhere, I just see a rifle come out, poof, poof, poof. And there's like, it's kind of like,
Holy
yeah,
shit.
it's kind of like the
Had you been in gunfire
No.
before? So I want to say, I know.
I'm a senior in high school. This is the summer to senior year.
Fuck, you're
Yeah.
about to be a new dad.
Yeah, I didn't even know yet. And dude, this is fucking crazy.
In a
Flashback.
house, this is going on?
This is in a house, in a backyard.
People, they fantasize about it, but you don't realize that there's smoke. It's loud as fuck. Gunpowder burns your eyes. Like, all that movie shit is so romanticized. And you're in a house.
You're exactly on it, dude. It was like
slow-mo, though.
no disrespect to anybody that's ever been to war, but I thought I was in a war.
Yeah.
I'm 17. Like, these things are really going now. We're not shooting at fucking bottles no more. And one of my friends, I'm not going to say his name or shit, but this fucking poor kid's only 15, 14 years old. And he's fucking with the business. Pulls his shit out and just starts dumping. Boom, boom. I'm talking like, people are like, this is how it's like I've never heard this kind of gun before. And like how you said, like when it hits brick.
Yeah, all the pieces.
Because we don't know how to fucking shoot, dog. We're missing everything. Like I remember pulling my bandana up. What the fuck, eh? Oh shit. For reals, cholos change their dress code. We need to wear the bandanas higher.
Get them up, man.
Yeah, and dude, we hit one of them, and nothing stopped.
And there are people scattering everywhere, so they're just running all
Women
over.
Girls are screaming. We're in shock. I don't even know that we've hit anybody. I just fucking, I'm not even trying to make this funny, but it's fucking funny is we all overshot. Everybody had to reload.
Nuh-uh, you emptied and...
Yeah. You know what I mean? We're like,
oh, my Slurpee.
Yeah. Put the Abba Zabba down to give me a clip, bitch.
That full episode it's got a lot of heavy stuff going on in there. And sometimes we like to just keep it a little bit light. And thank you to the Sklar brothers on episode 35 for coming on and dropping that CVS cheese bit. I love it. We could do it. I could sit at a party and do that for 4 hours straight and not stop laughing, all right? So go watch this highlight, and then go check out that full episode, because I think it's like a 4-minute riff on all the shit CVS has. It's down there by the motor oil and the goddamn snow globes.
So he's great, and the three of us it's like this week in dumb news. This is what happened. We believe the world's getting dumber. How do we, defeat it
through comedy?
Through comedy. So we do that show, which you've done. You were great. You were our second episode ever.
I appreciate that.
Cheese in the CVS.
The running bit of like someone asking an employee at the CVS where the cheese is, and the guy saying what it's next to.
Yeah.
I could do that for 10 hours.
Oh, God.
Where's cheese, man? It's back by the mops and the batteries. Where's the cheese?
The dairy section's right next to automotive, right there by the Armor All and right over there by the crutch tips.
It's right by the cotton balls and the razors. Come on now, it's cheese. Where do you think it is?
That should be a podcast.
It's just where the cheese is. It's by the caulk guns. It's and the toilet. Man. Where do you think it is? It's by the foot powder and the greeting cards. It's cheese, damn it.
Laugh the whole time.
So stupid.
The tough acting, 10 acting,
and the kitty litter. It's right there.
And the chocolate coins. It's right there. I don't know why you can't see it.
It's cheese, damn it. It's
if
by
you hit the diabetes socks, you went too far. Oh, God.
Diabetes socks and sunscreen. It's over there, man.
It's in the self-help section.
Why can't you find it? Why can't you find it?
Sliced cheese. First of all, if you're going to CVS for a sliced cheese, you deserve all of this.
It's the Pepto-Bismol and the beach towels. How do you not?
Beach towels. It's down there by the sand chairs. You see it? Yeah. The seasonal shit. It's over by the seasonal shit. It's in the as seen on TV aisle.
That's right. It's by the makeup and the
makeup. They have everything.
The makeup and the water shoes. You see it? It's right over there.
The water.
Oh my God.
I always love someone who is not embarrassed to get embarrassed. And Beth Stelling is one of my favorite people. And Beth Stelling will throw down with the best of them. And in episode 20, Beth Stelling details how she had a party favorite at the kids' parties. Check this out. How about this party trick as a child? As a child.
You read the sentence.
I'll read the sentence.
So I just basically free flowed on things that were dark
or
Yeah,
traumatizing.
I like to ask people to just give me a line. Don't give me too much. Just specifically.
I gave you like 40 lines.
40 lines. And this line right here, I'm going to read that to everybody. It says, I used to
Earmuffs, Mom.
I used to queef on command as a party trick as a child. Who in the fuck?
Now I can't do it. I'm a lady.
Old daughter, bring that little girl in here. Have a queef in here. Watch this shit. Watch this shit. Watch this shit.
I think I can still do it. Like, but really, I would put my legs behind my head, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, but both, like a pretzel behind my head, because I was a gymnast for many years, and essentially, I think most people, like, in order to protect themselves, assumed that it was my butthole. You know, like just to like,
nah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Yeah. And so my sisters would always call it farting on command, but like, how could you not know? It was such a different sound. But like, I had older sisters, and they would have parties, and like occasionally when my mom was out of town.
Get Beth up here to liven this thing up.
Yeah, and I remember eating a dog biscuit just to like make people laugh. I would kind of do whatever.
What would your mom do when you would do that? Would she freak out?
I think she was like working one of her 3 jobs, and just like we weren't like full latchkey kids, but she worked a lot, and she was a single mom.
Yeah, with 3 kids.
Yeah. So it was like she really did a great job raising us. I never felt like the kid that never had my parent home. She wasn't at a lot of school things because she, was also a teacher. But yeah, I don't know. It would just basically like suck air and then really just let her rip.
And that
suck
was your
air in
thing,
there.
huh?
Yeah.
That's fucking beautiful.
And it would always get laughs.
Oh my God. I don't know what I would do. I would definitely laugh first at my daughter, and then I'd be like, hey,
You have to stop
This is us.
doing that.
You're repping us. You know what I'm saying? Some of the episodes are light and fun, and some go deep, and I mean real deep. And I would say that of all the episodes and people I've had sit across from me, Maranzio Vance, the episode that he sat here and opened up about the abuse and everything, I would say that is honestly, it's the embodiment of this show. And again, I just have a special love for anybody that can spin that dark into funny. And Maranzio takes an unbelievable moment, and dark moment, and makes me laugh harder than anybody has about their darkness. And this is definitely a low light, but this is what the show is all about. So check this one out.
She's a girl, very mature. I think in the South we call it mannish. I don't know if everybody says mannish, but mannish is like fast, like too mature. I don't know if fast is a Southern slang either, but fast meaning, oh, she's fast, like she knows too much. She's too grown for her own good. So I had a cousin. She was adult. She knew too much too soon. And one day at my grandmother's house, she took me into. My grandparents had 2 houses, so it was like the main house where everybody would hang out at and lived in. Then there was a house that my cousins, my uncles, used to live in when they were growing up because they had so many fucking kids. They had to put them in another shed or whatever. So I don't know, dude. So my grandfather converted the old house into storage for the fruits and vegetables because my grandparents had a garden, and then the other room had a pool table in it, and that was big back then. You had a fucking pool table in your house. This is some Sinatra shit. And she took me in the back one day, and we were playing, and then next thing you know, she just got on top of me and was like, this is happening. And I was like, I don't know what's happening, but you're crushing my dick. Like, she was crushing it. Like, even though I don't even think I got erections. If I did, it was brief, but still, it's a twig. But she's fucking sitting on my body, and I'm like, I'm uncomfortable. She starts to take her shirt off, and I don't want to be graphic, but she basically had her way with me, and I was like, man, this is.
She had sex with you.
Not sex, but she did everything but.
Okay.
It was no penetration, but she did everything.
She performed oral sex on you? Everything.
She touched it a lot.
And she's 13, 14.
13, 14. I'm 6 or 7 years old, and you want to be liked. Everybody, I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm looking into the camera. Everybody wants to be liked. Even the people that say, I don't give a fuck, nobody like me. You want somebody to like the fact that you don't want to be liked. Don't fool yourself, bitch. You want to be liked. So I want to be liked. I want to be cool. I don't want to cause trouble. I don't want to get anyone in trouble. So I don't say anything. And it happens a couple of times. And I don't know if the word got out that, you know, I'm a fresh piece of ass to play with, but cousins, other female cousins were like, oh.
Just females.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, it's weird.
And they started doing that too?
I had a second cousin. She lived in New York. She would come down every summer, and I would be her plaything for the summer.
And was she the same age gap?
She's older.
Older?
Yeah, she's probably like, I want to say 17.
Damn.
Maybe.
And you're still 6, 7-year-old kid?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So you got to understand something right there, Ryan. I was introduced to intimacy I got introduced to love and intimacy by making it seem like you're only important if somebody desires you sexually. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I only like you, or I'm into you if I want to fuck you. So that just stuck to my DNA until like last week, probably. You know.
Yeah, you said
as
just
far
a few
as like,
years ago you went and
like until like last week I was like, oh, everybody that don't want to fuck me can. All right, that's cool. I got it now. Like it's on my refrigerator, like to-do list. Don't think this less of you. So it happened for probably up until like I'd say about 9.
So about 3 years off and on.
3 years off and on
by several people.
So it happened with my cousin, the first cousin who initiated it. Mm-hmm. Then her friend saw me. She's like, oh my God, he's such a little heartbreaker. And this bitch kissed me. Not like kiss me on the cheek. This bitch put her fat tongue in my small mouth. And my dick just got hard. Like what? Like my dick was like arithmetic hard, dude. Like what the fuck is going on? Like I couldn't believe how my dick was Thor hammer hard. Like I could have summoned that bitch and like, come here, boom. Hit you over the head, kill you instantly with my dick. That's fucking how hard it was at 7. Like, you ever seen that commercial where somebody's sitting on the couch and they be like, oh, she does pot. She's like all deflated on the couch. That's how I should have been, because all the blood left my body and went straight to my dick. I should have just been a fucking deflated bag with a fucking dick just like looking like Ultraman standing up there
Ultraman.
ready to conquer the fucking world. So she would do that to me, and
she lived in the neighborhood too.
She lived. My mom would go get her all the time. Okay. Because her mom would. My cousin that did it. Everything comes from someplace.
Sure.
So like when everybody's talking about this like, I'm not trying to be controversial, but this Me Too situation, it's an environment that was created from something. Like guys aren't bad because no one's born evil. I don't want to believe, except for Damien and Omen. But outside of that, no one's born. I don't think no one's born fucking evil. It comes from someplace.
It's a taught, learned.
It's a taught
behavior,
thing. Yeah. Just like with people that are like, I don't like gay people. It's like it comes from the fact that they read this book, and the book said don't like gay people. You can't be mad when you're born and someone gives you a manual, and now that manual is no good, but you don't know how to unlearn what you know. So we're mad at the wrong everybody. The Me Too movement, the gay movement, transgender, everybody's mad at the wrong thing. You're mad at the people, but these people are learned. It's engraved in them. It's like military. When guys get home from the military, my cousin came home from the military, they didn't deprogram him before they sent him home. They said, all right, you no longer this, turn this off. This motherfucker wants to go, he fucking hide in the house. He's going through it. So
Now, let me ask you a question if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
You never say anything to anybody about this. And does anyone ever ask or question or suspect?
My mom had a conversation with me about sex in the first grade when my cousin overheard me talking to a girl about the fact that I wanted to have sex with her.
So your mom heard that conversation?
She heard it. She don't know where it stemmed. She don't know that this is coming from the fact that people have been playing doctor with me.
You already know what this is like.
Yeah.
You want to do that now with this girl.
I'm like, ooh, my cousin used to do this with me. This girl at school I like, want to do it to her now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking to her. My conversation was so adult at 7. I should have been put down like a rabid dog. Like, I was like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, when I think back to what I was talking about, first of all, why
I got these rib condoms. They say they're for your pleasure, girl. Like, you're 7 fucking years old.
7 years old.
Rib condoms.
I'm a bitch. I'm going to blow your back out after we get done with this spelling bee.
Beat that pussy up, girl.
Pussy is, I got a
7 years
bat.
old.
I got a bat, and that's a pussy. And I'm about to beat that pussy with a bat. That's actually a fucking song.
It is.
So I'm talking to dope. My cousin overheard it. And my mom was like, what do you know about sex? I was like, what you talking about? No sex? I was just talking. I heard something on TV. Like, because I got in trouble now. Move forward, I got 2 cousins that's trying to fuck me on the regular. So now I'm like, well, let me see if this other cousin wants to fuck me. So I go to one of my cousins and I touch her the same way my cousins tell me to touch them.
Right.
And my cousin's like, what are you doing? I'm like, whoa. We fucking. This family. It's the worst part to laugh at, but it's real.
Adam Ray came on episode 34, and we were talking about depression and eating your feelings and how he was a bigger kid. And before we even got into talking about it, he cleared his throat. He gave me a and I was like, oh, I heard that shit in your throat clear there. And we busted out into our own little version of I heard it in your throat clear. And I don't remember who it was. I credited you everywhere I could on social media, so you had to go back and find a post on my Instagram at Ryan Sickler. Follow me on Instagram. But you got to check out this clip followed by the song that was submitted that just crushes.
You know, have probably, and I don't even want to say like suppressed or buried a lot of all of that stuff, because my mom did try to get me into counseling like shortly after.
We heard it in the throat clear. We heard it all in the throat clear, bro.
We heard it out of the gate clear, dude.
You were still in the gate pulling the horse around.
By the way, if we heard it in the throat clear isn't some R&B ballad that's about some guy.
I heard it in your throat clear.
I see it in your eyes. The emotion's getting heavy.
I'ma eat these fries.
That's the music video. It's the person sitting across from the guy singing, and he's just like.
I heard it in your throat clear. I see it in your eyes. The emotion's getting heavy, so I'ma eat these fries. Welcome to the HoneyDew podcast, broadcasted straight from your mom's house. Ryan Sickler highlighting lowlights, so grab a seat 'cause here is our next guest.
One of the more memorable stories for me is episode 38 with my man Steven Randolph, who came on and shared a story about how he grew tits overnight. And he is, by the way, told me that so many of you have actually reached out to him and are actually getting the surgery as well. So good for you for that. This is something I never knew about. But yeah, he had, in his words, grew tits, full tits, and went down to Mexico with a buddy to do some partying and got caught by the federales. And he's on his way to prison in the back of a Bronco with a guy who can't wait to go to prison. And this shit is so fucking funny and scary that I wanted to include it because, man, this one really stuck out. So check this out.
I don't want to see the judge. He goes, you go see the judge, you're getting 10 years. Get the fuck in the car. So then he hooks me and Casey together on this 2 handcuffs. And you know those like Broncos? They have Broncos, the federales, with a welded machine gun to the top. They're like military videos or military vehicles. And inside there's a cab. They kind of hollow out. That's like their paddy wagon. It looks like a paddy wagon. So they're just rounding up motherfuckers. So I get thrown in there, and we're in there with a guy from a Los Angeles gang. A Mexican guy, but you can tell he's like a Mexican American. Face tattoos everywhere, and he's tweaking. And he's on meth. He's not in handcuffs, but he's so there's 6 or 7 of us in this paddy wagon, fucking cramped.
Yeah, and a Bronco. That's cramped.
Yeah. And he's like, I wish I could. Should I show you?
Yeah.
It's just like I'll never forget this, because he's like, oh, because we got thrown in there, and he's like, it's about to go off right now. and I'm like,
I would be fucking scared to death.
my dude. And he goes, your homie over there? And he goes, you and your homie, you're gonna be fighting all night. He goes, you ever been to fucking Mexican prison before? We're going to prison, homie.
And he's excited about it.
Yeah, and he's fucking
He can't
lit,
wait.
dude.
Yeah, he
you can ask
can't
fucking
wait.
George Perez, like that whole like vibe, just like ooh, like he's on meth and he was fucking doing it in there. He's like, you want some meth? I'm like, no. He's like, dude, you don't want to sleep. He's like, you don't want to sleep. He's like, it's about to fuck. We're fighting tonight. And he's getting hyped up, sitting up on this little like wheel well in there. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm sitting there, my friend Casey's sitting there, and there's two like Mexican like grandpas. They're just like, Mexican like worker guys. And the one guy's crying. And I go, why is he crying? And he goes, because he's been to Mexican prison before. And dude, dude, what, how more can you scare a person? Dude, it's like at that threshold, I start crying, dude, tears start welling up. He goes, oh, he was like, homie, because he later became my friend after stealing my cell phone, but he told me he was hiding from a murder down in Tijuana, right? So he's like, I killed someone, I'm down here. And he was like, oh man, he's like, dude, it's on. And then I start crying. He goes, oh, tears off now, no tears. And I stopped. He goes, dude, you don't, no. And I was like, okay. Then my phone goes, ring. It's like an old Nokia. It goes, deet, deet. And he goes, what's that? It was my dad. But I couldn't hear him, and it was like such a mind fuck because it's not like you're in Iraq.
Oh, he's right there.
Dude, he's right there. There's San Diego. So I'm in the back of this dark fucking thing, and he goes, hey, I need that phone, dude. Right away. Here you go. Bro, I'm not. Bro, my new buddy needs a phone. People always wonder.
I can get you a landline, too, if you need it.
People go like, oh, I wonder what I would be like in prison. I now know, dude. A bitch, dude. Here you go. Here's my phone, dude. Yeah. Like, just like, here you go, bro. So I like whatever I got to do to survive here, So he takes my phone, he puts it in, and then he goes, then the other Mexican guys are starting to speak in Spanish, and then he goes, oh, they said something funny. And I go, what did they say that's funny? And he goes, they said your friend looks like Bruce Lee, and they want to fight him, dude. So my friend's half Japanese, fucking gay, artist, and so am I, like just like two little artists down there. And I'm like, Casey, dude, they think you look like Bruce Lee, dude. And he's just like frozen. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, like what the fuck, And so then the one guy starts throwing up in the back of the car.
Great.
All over all of us, dude. Just no one. And the tweaker dude's just like, oh shit! Like
he's loving everything.
He's loving it. Loving it.
Don't you wish you could be him in that situation?
Bro, he's like, oh, like we kept saying we're fighting tonight, dude. We're fighting tonight.
Wait
dude.
to get there.
He's like, oh, and so he's just perched, ready. That's what he was built for.
Yeah,
he was just like you and I doing a big stand-up show, like, woo, we got 1,200 out there. Woo-wee. He's like, yeah, because he's probably walking around in fucking LA somewhere trying to get a job, like not fitting in. But dude, he is at what God made him for, dude. He's a warrior, and we are, dude. He looked at me. I'll never forget when he was like, "Oh, you never met a Mexican." He was like excited, like, "Oh, you never done stand up before? Yeah, right. Oh, it's wild!"
Oh,
like he
you
was
about to have a good time.
We are fighting tonight, dude. He kept saying, dude. We are fighting tonight, just tweaking with just all this.
And also, are you scared that you're gonna have to take your shirt off once you get in there?
Oh, bro, I'm gonna be the chick getting rant.
Oh,
like, bro,
my God.
That was one of 100 thoughts. That was one of 100 thoughts, bro. That was a floating thought.
That's an extra layer too. That's so big.
I was like, oh yeah, that of course. They're gonna be coming on my tits.
God.
Like,
oh God. Episode 39 was a special one. Anytime Joey Diaz comes on is a special one, and this is a Joey Diaz episode for the ages. I have a nun had a nun in my family. Rest in peace, Sister Carmina. But Joey, and she was a good lady, a good woman, a good nun. But Joey Diaz had an encounter with a lady who wasn't such a good nun, and he had to fight her. This is that story.
So everybody had a green thing that if you fuck with me, I'll kill you like Bruce Lee in Fist of Fury. So I myself put one of those things on my chain. My mom couldn't figure out what it was, but my revenge was for that fucking nun. Like I made a decision.
The one that paddled you.
The one, she abused me. She poured milk on my head. Like she did all this shit. So what happened was we're in the 5th grade. I don't know what class it is. She was teaching because you had like a new teacher come in every hour to teach you a certain subject. This dirty bitch comes in, and I'm looking at these fucking Bravo brothers, and they're crying. But at that time, I knew Nino had gotten fucked in the ass, and we had already had a plan to take down Lazarito. Me and the Rubero brothers and a bunch of guys were going to wait till he was sleeping and put like a pillowcase on his head and just beat him with everything we had because he did this to this kid. And their mom was having a kid. They were twins, but the mom was in labor. And they were crying. And they asked Sister Hyacinth if they could call the hospital. The phone was fucking 30 feet from the classroom, a payphone. And Sister Hyacinth said, no, wait till after the class. And they're like, but our mommy's in bad shape. We want to make sure and call. And she goes, what did I just tell you? You know, I just told you to fucking... And at that time, I was already starting to hate her. And I was already starting to get that attitude from 148th Street. I was running it down. And I looked at them straight in the face, and I go, fuck her. With a little bit of a volley to it. Like, it was like April, and I go, fuck her. I go, you know what, man? Your mother and your father worked really hard for you to come here. You know, I go, Jesus don't pay for the bills here. Your parents do. Like, I was already that hip. I go, get up and go make that fucking phone call. I'll get up with you. And she looked right at me. She goes, what'd you say, Mr. Diaz? And like, I told him to go make that phone call. Their mom's hurting, man. Who the hell are you? And she goes, all three of you get up and wait for us after class. And that pretty much meant she was going to fucking light you up after class. Right. And you had like 5 minutes to get in between from class to class. Or I don't know if the other teacher came. I don't remember exactly what it was. But I remember we waited in the hallway for class to finish. And then she came up, and the two kids were still crying from their mom, you know. And she's like, stop crying. You know, how many times am I going to tell you? And what are you going to have your attorney, Jose, stick up for you or something like that? And
I was talking about you,
yeah. And I go, listen, man, I just told them the truth. Their mom's fucking, you know. And she goes, shut up. And she, like, smacked me. And then she pulled Raphael's hair and just started violently smacking him. And then Nino, she started smacking him. You know, and I wrote a joke about it that I pushed Nino. And no, she just attacked Nino and Raphael. And I'm like, I don't know what I said. Is this necessary? I mean, what the fuck is going on? These two kids' moms are in the fucking hospital and you're beating them up because they asked you? It's expensive to come to this fucking private school. So then she turned her attention on me. And she goes, what'd you have to say in there? And she bit her tongue and she just started reaching for me, smacking me. But I was done with it. In that school, they had a thing. If they smacked you, had to put your hands down.
Oh, and take it?
And take it. And just like my mother at the house, my mother had a rule. Put your hand down. Put your fucking hand down or I'll burn that fucking thing. So I would, and this particular day, I put my hands up. And she goes, put your hands down. I'm not putting them down. And she would bite her tongue, and she'd go, put them down, put them down. And she kept pounding me. And I kept standing my ground, like I'm not going to fucking put them down. And then she grabbed me by the hand. She goes, get into the utility closet. And it was well known that in the utility closet is where they bloodied you up. Like they bloodied you up in there. Like that's where they closed the door, and she started smacking you, and she'd hit you with books. She'd knee you, whatever she could do. And I went to the utility, and on the walk to the utility closet, I said, this is not going to happen to me today. I was 10 years old. I knew where I came from. My mom was a tough bitch. My mom wouldn't accept this. I go, I'm not letting this nun beat me up. And we went into the utility closet. I walked in first, and she closed the door, but it never shut. And she threw me against the wall, and she just started violently smacking me. You put your hand. I kept putting my hands up, and I could feel the blood coming from my lip. And once I tasted that blood,
Bruce Lee.
Like Bruce Lee.
Oh shit! The Cuban connection.
I looked at her. And I said, I'm going to go for this bitch. Now, I was pretty proficient in karate.
And you're in fifth grade?
Fifth grade, I was a purple belt in karate at Laranjo, whatever's father's school, Mr. Black on 98th Street. I was great with kicks. I had really good kicks. My hands were kind of weak, but I was a pussy. I was scared to fight. I was scared to get hit, but I was getting the hang of it. And I said, today, this is not going to happen. And in the middle of her smacking me, I just grabbed her. And I'll never forget, it was like metal shelves that had notebooks on it and like all school utensils. And I pushed her with her back in the middle of one of the things that was sticking out. So when I pushed her, I hit her hard. And she's like, well, and she goes, what are you doing? And I go, you're not going to hit me today. Not today. And I think I smacked her or whatever once or twice. Like, I was crazy. And then she went to push me, but she fell into a fucking a headlock. So this bitch had me like by 50 pounds, 60 pounds, maybe 100 pounds. She was a big fat bitch. And I had her by the fucking head, and I knew that I couldn't let go. I knew that either if I let go, I had to run for that door.
Hell yeah, man! You're.
So I'm holding on to her, and she can't get out of this
everything
headlock.
right there.
And I'm squeezing her. I don't have it under the chin like I had.
Like
it was a Khabib. I knew nothing about. I knew nothing about choking people or nothing. I just knew about fear, what it was to be a scared little boy. And I just grabbed her. My adrenaline must have been pumping because she kept saying, "You're gonna kill me. You're gonna kill me." And I'm like, fuck it, you're dying today. I'm like, I didn't give a fuck. And I kept squeezing. And then I turned her around, and she fucking kept in the headlock. She could not. I don't know how I had her. I was holding on to like a fucking thing. By this point, her veil had come off.
And shit's all over.
Everything came off. My heart's pumping. My heart was fucking beating to death.
Yeah.
And I got to open the door, and the kids were exiting the class. So now they're looking at this. They just like, oh, and I'm grabbing. I'm like, get help. Get the fucking Rubero brothers. We got to go to work here. I'm running out of time. You know what I'm saying? The ship is fucking sinking. And I knew that I had her. I knew I was just going to run out of there and keep running. That was my plan, to just run out of there and keep running, get to a payphone, call my mother at the bar in Union City, which is about 20 minutes away. That was the plan. That was the fucking plan, to run out of there, guys. I swear to God. And as I came out, these are New York City kids. This ain't fucking California people. This ain't kids. These are fucking suburb-raised kids that are crazy. So what do they start doing? They start clapping. Go, 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 go. Now I gotta kill her. Now I gotta kill her. I can't pussy out in front of these guys. I'm representing 148th Street. And I'm representing Union City. I'm representing 88th Street. How am I gonna pussy out? They're yelling, go, 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 go.
I live my life comfortably. Episode 49, Josh Wolf and I discussed my heavy rotation of jeans, sweats, and night pants. And I want you all to know that I am going to make night pants a reality. I'm trying to find a place that'll do it affordable. All right. Nobody wants to pay $55 for some motherfucking night pants. All right. They're supposed to be comfortable. You're not supposed to be stressing about how much you pay for these comfortable pants. You know what I'm saying? But that's it, man. Night pants. They're night pants. Call whatever you call them. You call them pajamas. You call them loungewear. Call them whatever the fuck you want. You guys go. I seen you go get gas in them. I see you run errands in it. You're all dropping your kids off. They're night pants. They're night pants. Check this clip out. Chinos are back now, though.
Are they?
They are. I mean, not on my body, but they are. I'm sweats and listen. I roll three things.
Hit me.
Jeans.
Yep.
Sweats. Night pants. That's it. That's my whole trifecta.
Is Night Pants a superhero? Who's Night Pants?
Night pants, man.
Night pants.
Night pants.
What are night pants, man?
People, you all call them pajama pants or whatever. They're night pants. You wear them at night.
No, man. First of all, I'll tell you how many people in the world call pajamas night pants. One person. Because when you said night pants, I thought you meant like pants that if you had your lady, you'd go out at night with these night pants. You know what I mean?
They're my slacks.
Wait, okay. You know what I call those, by the way? Honestly, I'll always tell my wife, I'm like, I need a new pair of fancy pants. I call them fancy.
Yes, I like that.
I call them fancy pants, but I'm gonna need a little.
My heavy rotation is jeans, sweats, night pants. That's my heavy rotation.
By the way, that sounds like a progression of age. You know what I mean?
When those night pants become day pants, it's over, brother. Okay, when you start hearing me call them day pants, it's a wrap.
Yeah, when you're rocking night pants all 24/7, yeah, you're comfortable. Let me ask you, I gotta ask one more question.
Yes, please.
Give me a definition real quick between slacks and chinos.
I feel like chinos these days are much more, they're modern, they're better quality, they're built better.
What do they look like? Are they like khakis?
They're like, yeah.
Like a khaki material.
And a better, like a better feel and fit. And then slacks are that old school, that hard crease right down. You know what I mean? At the bottom it triangled out and shit, you know, pleats. Remember pleats, bro. They're slacks.
They're not doing pleats anymore, man. No.
Well, you don't hear slacks anymore.
No, you don't. But I'll tell you what, you know, the one thing about those slacks is I could never figure out how to hang them because the crease, you know what?
You got to go with the seam.
Yeah.
You got to go with the
hard,
seam.
man, hard. I'll tell you something though, night pants.
I got a whole line of them.
I challenge any of your listeners to make some sort of cartoon or animation of Captain Night Pants.
That's going to be my animated series of Netflix, motherfucker.
Yo, Captain Night Pants never gets off the couch. He solves crime from his living room.
Right there.
Yeah. He solves crimes
I'm
like...
going out back and smoking joints, solve this murder. Night Pants. This last clip here, this last low light is it's the highlight for me of this year. Tony Hinchcliffe came on episode 44 and just opened up about a story that I don't think he's ever shared before. And the whole story is that his biological dad ends up living down the damn street. He's right down the damn street. And we had a moment about it. And it's one of my, it's my favorite moment, I think, for the HoneyDew, is sitting and laughing at someone's pain. And I'm super appreciative that he came on and shared it. And I'm so glad he laughed just as hard as I did with me. I'll tell you, the laughter's different when it comes from a deep place. And I love Tony, and I love that he let me take this shot. And I hope you enjoy it too. Check it out. All right, that's what I want to ask you. So your mom has you, and she's in Youngstown.
Yeah.
Where's your dad? Also in Youngstown? Or?
Well, no, yes. Here's what's crazy is that, yes, my dad was in Youngstown, but this is where things get really messed up because my mom actually lied to me and told me that, and she got the siblings to go in on it with her. And she told me that my dad worked a lot and he worked out of town. I think they said he was a truck driver, something to like let my little boy imagination run wild with, rationalize why he only visits like once every, when I was a little baby, I remember he was there a lot. This is also what they remind me of. And then as I got like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3, maybe it was like once a month. And then it was like, you know, once every couple months, and it sort of spread out. So when I was young, they told me like, oh, you know, they gave me a fake last name. They're like, oh, his name's Joe Smith, and, you know, he works a lot, and blah, 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 blah.
Is his Hinchcliffe his name?
No,
Okay.
Hinchcliffe is the first guy's name because my mom wanted me to have the same name as my older brothers and sisters because that's like our family. You know how like trashy families are like, we stick together no matter what.
So Hinchcliffe,
we're not half brothers and sisters. We're real brothers and sisters. Say it again. Like it's just like normal super trash shit.
So Hinchcliffe is the guy that was leaving when your dad would come over and make spaghetti and fuck your mom.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's who you're named after.
Absolutely, I'm named after that fucking idiot. Hey, I love that there's spaghetti in the fridge and your pussy smells like pasta. This is incredible.
So you all have the last name Hinchcliffe.
Yeah.
Are you close with your dad's kids from that marriage?
Well, by sort of like crazy coincidences and stories, yes, I ended up getting close with them. Not one of them, but the other one, yes. I think that the son from that side has like an issue, like a jealousy issue.
Do they know who you are and what you do? I mean, it's kind of hard to hide at this point.
They do now, and it's sort of crazy because, well, let me just tell you the rest of the story so that you can understand.
All right.
So my mom told me that was the story. Like my dad travels a lot, my dad works a lot, and then I think it was like either, I don't know, first, second, no later than third grade. I was on the school bus one day and I noticed that across the street from my one buddy's house who we were picking up, I looked across the street and in the driveway was this, white, I think it was a Bronco or a Ford something, but whatever it was, I'm pretty sure it was a Bronco. And I would see this white Bronco, and it looked a lot like the car that my dad would drive when he would come and visit. I'd always be waiting for him, and he'd always be late. So, like, this arrival of him coming to see me was always a really big deal. And and I noticed this car across from my buddy's house, and then I noticed it again, and I noticed it again. So I took mental note of it and the license plate, and next time my dad came and visited, I matched it up. And then,
how old do you think you are at this point?
Again, this is like no later than, second or third grade. I would say 9, 10.
That's really good. Okay.
Right around then. And yeah, they were very shocked when what happened, which is after my dad left that next time, after I matched it up, I mentioned to my mom, I go, hey, I noticed that Dad's car is in this one house's driveway a lot when we pick up, Jeff Lewis on the school bus.
He was that close?
Yeah, literally right across the street. And from my buddy who was, yes,
but
only
blocks away.
Yeah, 7, 8 blocks
the same
away.
Bus route.
Exactly. Yeah. Same bus, same school. And my mom turned pale white and she sat me down and she told me everything then. She decided to stop the lies then and break down everything to this 10-year-old boy.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's how someone like me gets made. You're wondering, what the fuck's wrong with him? There
it is.
Horrible, horrible. The worst kind of childhood trauma. You just find out that your mom, who's been raising you, has been lying to you for 10 years about who made you and how you were made, and the fact that, you don't have a normal life at all, and you're a super bastard, and you're not even related, you're completely related to your brothers and sisters, and all this crazy stuff. And
that's when you also find out then that your dad has this other wife and family or other woman and family or whatever.
2 kids and a
Holy
wife, and then
shit.
they're old school Italians, so they don't want to get divorced.
And where do those kids go to school?
They were much older too.
Okay.
They had already grown up, and actually they went to the same high school that I went to, but they were there 12, 14 years before that.
How old was your mom when she had you?
She was 38 when she had me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in her 20s, obviously, young 20s when she had your other siblings.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens when you hear this?
Well, it was very traumatizing. There was a lot to it. She ended up calling him. He ended up coming back and this and that. And we had
He's like, I'll walk over.
Right. Oh my God, that is so funny. Oh my God. Oh, it hurts. It's so hurting the back of my spinal cord right now. That is one of the greatest jokes I've ever heard in my life. Oh my God, that's so funny. I'll walk over. Yeah, he was right fucking there the whole time, this asshole.
And there it is. Those are the highlights of the lowlights here on the HoneyDew podcast. Thank you all again for all your support this year. I look forward to more and more doers joining. Make sure you're over there on that Your Mom's House YouTube page. Subscribe there. You got so much great content. This studio has already grown so much in a matter of months, and there's more and more coming. So thank you all for listening. We're hitting 2020, y'all. 20 motherfucking 20, okay? It's about to get real. So have a safe and happy new year, and we'll talk to y'all next week.